Hello, welcome to ScreamingDelkims.se. Stop laughing. Right, what we're going to show you now, we're at Härlanda Tjärn. Yep, we're going to rebait for the night. It's October 2006. Yeah, we've been here for 2 nights, we've not had any luck yet. So what we're going to do, we're going to rig up now, plonk the gear out and see what happens. But before we do that, I'll show you what we're using. Okay, this is rig number 1. Take away the old boilie. There we go. This is the first rig. Yep. It can be used as a pop-up rig or a bottom bait rig. And we've got about 40 centimetres of ESP lead core onto a semi-fixed bolt rig. Excalibur lead's 3-ounce sidewinder lead, which is connected here by a snap link, which is covered in lead putty. So we got the swivel, 25-pound Fox mask, Chef done. And the hook we're using is a Corda wide gate, the Teflon coated Corda wide gate, which is a standard hair rig, but with, take that away, with a swivel attached and a bait band, as you can see. Yep, there we go. So as you see, we've stripped back a bit of the plastic coating here, so there's a hinge. So whichever the way the carp takes that bait into his mouth, the hinge will always make the hook turn over and stick into the bottom lip. Yeah, and just to show you how that works, what we do here is we do the finger test, and that should always turn over and stick in like so. Yep, we do that again. Doesn't matter if it's stuck the other way around, as you can see the hook's going the other way around. As soon as that that hook tries to pull out of the mouth, or the carp tries to spit it out, it turns round and sticks in, just like that. Yep. Because of that, what we're going to do, we're going to put our favourite energy baits on here. Yep. And this one's going to be sweet orange, which is one of my favourites actually, for Härlanda Tjärn. Quite big baits, these are 20mm, but we've put them in the dip, and they've been in a dip for a few weeks, so they've swelled up just a smidgen. They've swelled up to about 21-22 mils, as you can see there. So we're going to bait up with that. The thing about the dip is it also hardens the bait, which prevents it falling off, or the small fish attacking it and turning it into nothing. Yep. The thing with the dip, it's been in there a couple of weeks, the dip will leak out slowly into the water. The water's still about 13 degrees at the moment, even though it's still October, so there's a good chance we'll catch a fish here. There we go. Hook onto the bait band. The best thing about the bait band, yeah, you can put a 16mm boilie on there, and because it stretches, you can also put a 28-40mm boilie on if you want, as you can see. So, but with the hair, the length of the hair depicts the size of the boilie you can put on. But here we're going to slide a 21-22mm boilie, and see, you got the swivel. Yep. I'm going to push the swivel just into the bait there, so yeah. So no matter which way that boilie swivels in the carp's mouth, the hook's going to stay in the same position because it's a swivel. Yeah. If that was stuck on a hair and the carp spun it round in its mouth, the hook could spin as well. But because it's on a swivel, it swivels round and the hook stays. And then put a boilie stop in. There's a little trick of mine. So the boilie stop sat on the top. Yeah. Just for a little extra disguise, I like to push the boilie stop into the bait itself, like so, with my fingernail. So you can't see that now. And I just pull it tight. And there we go. There's the rig. That'll sit in the water like that because it's a bottle. It'll sit so. Yep. And no matter which way the carp takes that bait in, that hook will always 100% turn round and stick it to the bottom lip of the fish, thus hooking it, getting a screamer, and making me very happy indeed. Okay, right, one thing missing now, because it's pop-up, we need a little bit of lead putty, tungsten putty, pop-up weight, whatever. Yep. This is pretty condensed stuff, so you don't need that much really. That's a 20 ml boilie. We need about that much. Yep. And depending on how high you want your bait to sit off the bottom, if it's hard sand, you want it sitting just off the bottom. Yeah. If it's deep silt, mud or weed, you want to sit in a little bit further, just in case it gets dragged down or it's visible to the fish. Then what we'll do, we'll put a bit of that on, wrap it round, and this swim we're fishing today, when I'm going to cast now, it's pretty clear sand, muddy sand. So we'll put that just at the eye of the hook there. There we go, and that's going to sit in the water like that. Just neaten it up a little bit. And we can't show you here in the water actually, it's getting a bit too dark now. But basically, that's the way it's going to sit. It's going to sit in the water, so yeah, it's only just off the bottom, so it doesn't look too unnatural. Yeah, if there's a little bit of weed or grass, that's going to look as if it's sitting on the bottom. Yeah, if you had it sat up like that, it would look so unnatural. The fish probably just swim right on by. Yeah, if it was a bottom bait, it'd sit so. But then again, we wouldn't need this. Well, we're gonna fish the pop up now, and that smells great. But as you say, what we find to smell nice, the fish might, completely think something different. They might not find sweet orange nice, but they do eat it because we've caught carp on here on energy sweet orange before. Okay. What else we're going to do? A few tricks. Here we got a little pre-made bag of trout pellets. Yeah, it's just trout pellets. We haven't got any boilies in sweet orange, and I don't want to put all of the boilies in there because they're different to the actual hook bait, which might cause the carp to eat the rest and not the hook bait because it looks different. So we're just going to put some pellets on the end there, and that's in some fox funnel web, pre-packed the night before. And how we do this, there's a couple of ways you can do it. You can either thread your hook link through and stick it in the end, so pull the hook link out and connect it, or you can just clip it in, so yep, and that's the rig we've got. So that's what we're going to catch a carp with this time. Yep, and that's my rig for Härlanda Tjärn tonight, and hopefully we'll be bringing some fish. So what we're going to do now, I'm going to cast that over onto the other side of the neck roast, just on the far side of the neck roast. Let's see how it goes. The rod I'm using is a 2¼ pound Daiwa Power Mesh, 13 foot, which is sufficient. Even though it's 2¼ pound, it's sufficient to cast a PVA bag in a 3-ounce lead, no problem. Up to say 50-60 metres, maybe up to 100 if you feel like it. See what I've done there, I've just feathered the line out with my finger, put the line just to put the brakes on it to slow it down, and what happens, the PVA bag goes first then, because when it's travelling out, the PVA bag's here, your lead's here, and then you could get tangled, but if you feather the line, it straightens everything out as it hits the water. And then what we'll do now, we'll just let a bit of line out, we'll let the lead core sink, the line sink, and we'll leave it there for about 15-20 minutes, just to let everything sink to the bottom before we clip up. Just keep it out of the reeds there. We'll just let everything sink now to the bottom, so everything sinks to the bottom. You can add a back lead, but I don't think it's necessary at the moment, but we'll just leave the rod there. Don't clip up straight away, because when you tighten up straight away, the line just goes through the water like that, and then if fish bumps into that, you're going to spook it. But if you let it sink for a while, 15-20 minutes before we clip up. Yep. So there we go.